This is the leaders or readers top recording. For more information, please visit the website cafe.com/bccab. Chapter 6, Fruit by Carl Hyson. This recording is by Yansa from Korea. At breakfast the next morning, Roy asked if it was against the law for a kid in his age not to go to school. His mother said, "Well, I'm not sure it's an actual law, but..." "Oh, yes, it is," his father said. "Transit is what it's called." "Can they put you in jail?" Roy asked. "Usually they just put you back in school," Mr. Everhart said. Half jokingly, he added, "You weren't thinking of dropping out, were you?" Roy said, "No, school's all right." "I bet I know what this is about," Mr. Everhart said. "You worried about bumping into the math Russian boy again. See, I didn't tell you the apology letter was too assertive." "The letter was just fine," Roy's father said, spreading open the newspaper. "If it was just fine, then why is Roy so scared? Why is he talking about dropping out of school?" "I'm not scared," Roy said, "and I don't want to drop out of Trace Middle. It's just..." His mother eyed him. "What?" "Nothing, Mom." Roy decided not to tell his parents about the encounter with Mullet Fingers, the running boy. Being in law information, Roy's father probably was required to report all crimes, even truancy. Roy didn't want to get the kid in trouble. "Listen to this," Mr. Everhart said, and began reading aloud from the newspaper. A Coconut Cup police cruiser was vandalized early Monday morning while parked at a construction site up East Oriole Avenue. The officer had fallen asleep inside the car at that time, according to a police spokesperson. "Can you believe that?" Roy's mother clucked. "Sleeping on duty? That's disgraceful. They should fire that fellow." Roy thought the story was pretty amusing. "It gets better," his father said. "Listen, the accident happened shortly before sunrise. An unknown parkman sneaked up the patrol car, a 2001 Crown Victoria, and a spray painted on the window with black paint." Roy, who had a mouthful of raisin bran, burst out laughing. Milk dribbled down his chin. Mr. Everhart was also smiling as he continued. Coconut Cove Police Chief Muriel declined to release the name of the officer who fell asleep, saying that as part of a special surveillance team investigating reported crimes on the east side of town. Decan said the officer had recently been ill with the flu and had been given medication that made him drowsy. Roy's father looked up from the article. "Medication, huh? What else does the story say?" Mr. and Mrs. Everhart asked. "Let's see. It says it was the unsuspicious incident within a week cafe's location, which is the future home of a Mother Paula All-American Pancake House." Roy's mother brightened. "We're getting a Mother Polisher at Coconut Cove? That'll be nice." Roy swabbed the napkin across his chin. "That what else happened out there?" "I was wondering the same thing," Mr. Everhart said, skimming the rest of the article. "Here it is. Last Monday, a known intruder approved survey sticks from the property. 4 days later, vandal charged the site and placed all alligators and 3 portable toilets. According to police, the reptile was captured unharmed and later released into a nearby kennel. No arrest had been made." Mrs. Everhart rose and started clearing the breakfast dishes. "Alligators," she said. "Good heavens, what next?" Mr. Everhart folded the paper and tossed it on the kitchen counter. "This is turning out to be an interesting little town after all, isn't it, Roy?" Roy picked up the newspaper to see for himself. East Oriole Avenue sounded familiar. As he read the story, Roy remembered where he'd been street sign. Beatrice Lisbeth stopped. The place that spotted the running boy was West Oriole Avenue, just like the other side of the main highway. "The article doesn't sound how big those gator was," Roy remarked. His father chuckled. "Don't think of its importance, son. I think it's the thought that counts." The police captain said, "I've read your report, David. Is there anything else you'd like to add?" Officer Delinko shook his head. His hand was folded on his lap. What could he say? The sergeant spoke up. "David understood how serious this is. Embarrassing in the world," the captain said. "The chief had been sharing some of the email, phones, and messages with me. It's not pretty. Did you see the newspaper?" Officer Delinko nodded. He had reread the article a dozen times. Each time it made his stomach churn. "You probably noticed that your name wasn't mentioned," the captain said. "That's because we refused to release to the media." "Yeah, thank you," Officer Delinko said. "I'm very sure about this, sir." "And you have read the Chief Divke's explanation for what happened?" To be honest, sir, I haven't had the flu, and I wasn't taking any medication yesterday. David, the sergeant cut in. If the chief says you were taking flu medicine, you were definitely taking flu medicine. And if the chief says that why you fell asleep in your patrol club, and that's exactly what happened, understand? Oh, yes, sir. The captain held up a yellow slip of paper. This is a bill from Ford relationship for $410. They got the black paint off your window. That's the good news. Took them all day, but they did it. Officer Delinko was sure that the captain was going to hand him the repair bill, but he didn't. Instead, he placed him inside the patrolman's personal file, which laid open on his desk. Officer, I don't know why you did it. I just don't. The captain's tone was under patrol disappointment. I'm very sorry. It won't happen again, sir. Officer Delinko, Surgeon said, Captain, I ought you to tell that David volunteered for the surveillance duty on the construction site. And he went out early in the morning on his off-duty time. His own time, the captain folded his arms. Well, that's commendable. David, I asked why you did that. Because I want to catch the perpetrator. Officer Delinko replied, I know it was a priority with you and the chief. That's the only reason you didn't have some sort of personal stake in this case. I do now, thought Officer Delinko, now that they've made a fool of me. No, sir, he said. The captain turned his attention toward the surgeon. Well, there's got to be some type of punishment, whether we like it or not. The chief's taking too much grief over this. I agree, the surgeon said. Officer Delinko's heart sank. Any disciplinary actions would automatically become the part of his personal record. It might be an issue while it came over to a time promotion. Sure, I'll pay the bad bill myself, Officer Delinko offered. $410 is a serious chunk out of his pay week. By keeping his record practice with the word every penny. The captain said it wasn't necessary for Officer Delinko to cover the bill, and that wouldn't satisfy the chief anyway. So I'm putting you on desk duty, she said, for a month. David can live with that, said the surgeon. But what about Mother Paula's surveillance? Officer Delinko asked. Don't worry, we'll get covered. We'll push somebody off midnight shift. Yes, sir. Officer Delinko was depressed at the idea of being stuck behind the desk, doing nothing for a whole boring month. Still, it was better than being suspended. The only thing worse was sitting at a headquarters would be sitting at home. The captain stood up, which meant the meeting was over. He said, David, if anything like this happens again, it won't, I promise. Next time you definitely go to see your name in the newspaper. Yes, sir. Under headlines said, Officer terminated. Is that clear? Officer Delinko cringed inwardly. I understand, sir, he said quietly to the captain. He wondered if the little jerk who sprayed his Crown Victoria realized how much trouble they're getting him into. My whole career is jeopardized. Officer Delinko thought angrily, all because of some smart-ass juvenile delinquents. He was more determined than ever to catch that in act. In the hallway out the captain's office, the sergeant told him, you can pick up your car at the motor pool. But remember, David, you're off road patrol. That means you're allowed to drive until home and back, but that's all. Right, said Officer Delinko, home and back. He had already thought of the road that take him directly past the corner of East Oreo and Woodbury, the future location of Mother Paula's All-American Pancake House. Nobody said he could leave the extra house early this morning. Nobody said he can take the street time getting to work. Dana Matherson was absent from school again. Roy felt some relief, though he not enough to relax. The longer Dana had to stay away, his nose could recover from Roy's punch. The nastier cute when he finally returned to Trey's middle. You've still got some time to blow town, Garrett suggested helpfully. I'm not running away. Whatever happens, just happens. Roy wasn't trying to act cool. He thought a lot about the Dana situation. Another conference seemed inevitable, and part of him simply wanted to get over with. He wasn't cocky, but he had a stubborn break of the pride. He had no intention of spending the rest of his year cowering in the rash question of sneaking through the house just to avoid some dumb bully. I probably shouldn't tell you this, said Garrett, but some of the kids are taking the bets. Great, they're getting on whether Dana's going to beat you up. No, how many times he's going to beat you up. Nice, Roy said. Actually, take the things that come out of this actor. was Dana Masterson. The first was Roy successfully tailing the barefoot boy to golf course. The second was Roy being booted up the bus for 2 weeks by the vice principal. It was nice having his mother pick him up at school. They got a chat in the car, and Roy arrived home 20 minutes earlier than usual. The phone was ringing when they walked in the door. It was his mother's sister calling from California to chat. Roy seized the opportunity to retrieve a cardboard shoebox from his room and slipped quickly out the back door of the house. He was heading for the golf course again. With his light detour, instead of making a left with the West Oreo toward the bus stop, Roy rode his bicycle across the highway to East Oreo. He's gone less than 2 blocks when he came upon a scrub-covered lot with the tented work trailer on the corner. Parked beside the trailer was a blue pickup truck. Not far away sat 3 bulldozer-type vehicles on a row of portable toilets. Roy figured that had to be the same place where police cars got spray-painted and the alligator was hidden inside the laundry. As soon as Roy stopped the bicycle, the door of the trailer flew open and a stocky bald man charged up. He wore stiff tan war pants and a tan shirt that named Stitches on the breast. It was too far to read it. "What do you want?" the man snapped, his face flushed with anger. "Hey kid, I'm talking to you," Roy thought. "What's his problem?" The man came toward him, pointing. "What's in that box?" he yelled. "What have you got that little buddy's got planned for tonight, huh?" Roy spun his bike around and started pedaling away. The guy was acting like a total psycho. "That's right, and don't you come back," the bald man hollered, shaking a fist. "Next time there'll be a guard dog waiting for you, the meanest damn dog you ever saw." Roy pedaled faster. He didn't turn around. The cloud was darkening, and he thought it felt a raindrop on his cheek. From the distance came a rumble of thunder. Even after crossing the highway to West Oreo, Roy didn't slow his pace. By the time he made the golf course, a steady diesel was coming down. He hopped on his bicycle and, shielding the shoebox with both arms, began to jog across the desert, greens, and fairway. Soon he reached the thicket of the pepper trees where he had encountered a boy named Mulletfinger. Roy mentally prepared himself to blindfold it and tie it up again, even though he composed a short speech for the occasion. He was determined to pursue Mulletfinger, that he was someone to be trusted, and he hadn't come to influence but rather to help, if Mulletfinger needed it. While working his way through the thicket, Roy grabbed the dead branch off the ground. It was heavy enough to make an impression of the cottonmouth moccasin, so he hoped that it wouldn't be necessary. When he got to the ditch, he saw no sign of the deadly sparkle-tailed snakes. The running boy's tent was gone, cleaned out. All the plastic bags had been removed, and the fire pit had been buried. Roy poked the tip of the dead branches through the loose dirt, but yelled at no clues. Gloomily, he checked for the footprints and found not one. Mulletfinger had fled without a trace. As Roy emerged into the fairway, the purple sky opened up. Rain splashed down the wind-driven sheet that stung his face, and lightning crashed ominously nearby. Roy shivered and took off running. At an electric storm, the worst place to be on a golf course, standing near trees. As he ran, flinching at every thunderclap, he began to feel guilty about sneaking away from house. His mother would worry sick once he realized that he was out of his weather. She might even get the car and come searching for him, a prospect that troubled Roy. He didn't want his mom driving around in such dangerous condition. The rain was so heavy that she wouldn't be able to see a road very well. As wet and weary as it, Roy forced himself to run faster. Squinting through the downpour, he kept thinking, he can't be much farther. He was looking for the water fountain where he left his bicycle. Finally, another wild burst of lightning illuminated fairway. He saw it in 20 yards ahead of him, but his bicycle wasn't there. At first, Roy thought it was the wrong fountain. He thought he must have lost his direction in the storm. When he recognized a nearby and tail shed with the wooden castle with a soda machine, this was the right place, all right. Roy stood at the rain and stared miserably at the spot where he left his bike. Usually he was careful about locking it, but today he'd been too much of a hurry. Now it was missing, stolen, undoubtedly. To get away from the rain, Roy dashed into the earth's kissock. The soggy cardboard box had coming down apart to his hands. It would be a long walk home, and Roy knew he couldn't get there before nightfall. His parents would be going to be bananas. First 10 minutes, Roy stood in the cassock, dripping on the floor, waiting for down. Lightning and thunder seemed to be roaring eastward, but the rain just wouldn't quit. Finally, Roy stepped outside, lowering his head, and started trudging to the direction of his neighborhood. Every step made a splash. Raindrops streaked on his forehead and clung to his eyelashes. He wished he wore a cap. When he got to the sidewalk, he tried to run away, but it was like sloshing through the shadow of an endless lake. Roy had noticed that this about Florida. It was low and flat puddles that took forever to drain. He plodded onward and soon he reached the bus stop where he first spotted the running boy. Roy didn't pause to look around. It was growing darker by the minute. Just as he made the corner of the West Oreo and the highway, the street lights flickered on. Oh, brother, he thought, I'm really late. Traffic was steady in both directions, creeping through the standing water. Roy waited impatiently. Every car pushed a wake that splashed against his shine. He didn't care. He was already stuck to the bone. Spying a gap in the traffic, Roy bunched to the road. Watch it, shouted a voice behind him. Roy jumped back and croaked and spun around. There was Beatrice Sleep sitting on his bicycle. She said, what's in the shoebox, cowgirl?